Thank you. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Hey everybody, it's me, True Powers. My name, this is Tpim. SR Live. Today's date, December 5th, 2019, the year of our Lord. You know, the Grinch that stole Christmas wasn't green. The Grinch was really orange. Anyhow, a lot of bad news for needy folks out there. Culture of death is still grinding the wheels, devouring the dreams and aspiration, I guess, on the unchosen or unworthy. See, the main weapon in this war that is imposed on folks. Brown, welcome to the show. Peace and power. Glad you made it. Is economic non-viability, meaning a individual, irregardless of how holy or nice or kind or whatever you are, because you lack economic means, you will be treated differently. And expectations on so many levels are drastically reduced, artificially creating a situation of stress in your world. See, stress used to be a part of the human condition, but it was a way to get Brother Bird, peace and power. Welcome to the show. It was a way to get you out of that area. When we were nomadic, you'll start getting stressed because you look around, all the critters have already been captured and consumed. The area might start smelling a little foul if you didn't, take proper sanitary. So that'll start creating a stress in your body. Sister Barbara, Brother David, peace and power. So then you leave. You go to a new territory. And that stress is all up on. I mean, that works even today, y'all. If you're stressing out, you're bugging out on something, literally get up, go somewhere else, a brand new environment, and submerge yourself in it. As long as it's a nurturing environment. Now, don't go from one fire into another oven. Don't do that. Travel a little bit and alleviate that stress. It breaks my heart to know that people who had the most to lose didn't understand the illegal game, the illegal alien, the illegal worker, the illegal farm help gag. And this is the consequence you're going to pay for your stupidity in the war of attrition. Now, I did a report about 10 months ago about how farmers literally could not find people to get out there in those damn fields and work. Literally could not find people to go out there and pick the avocados, pick the pears, pick the apples. Grab up on them greens and okra and all that. So what happened? Well, consequently, a lot of food rotted out there in the field. A lot of farmers lost their butts. So the government has a one-up now. One up. They're going to make your ass go to work. If you don't go to work, you get no food stamps. The working class people are going to be like, yay. Well, I hate to tell you, brothers and sisters, there's going to be more booger and cum coming down your fresh produce aisle than you can shake a stick at. You have better almost send that fruit that you eat, the lettuce, you have better send it through a nuclear oven. It'd be safer to eat the radiation than what you're about ready to eat. See, there's one thing, and I want you guys to understand the spirit of the thing. A man or a woman coming to America, on desperate mode, I'll do anything. They're picking for freedom. Every apple, every tomato, you got to look at it from a different point of view. They don't have to worry about the war. Now they might have to worry about, they won't have to worry about the warlord or whatever the bullshit that our government set up in their dysfunctional country that they left. They may have to worry about the rancher or farmer that they're working for, and maybe a supervisor or two up in there, especially if they're a young woman. Even nowadays, young men are at risk. All this is because peasants, you need to know your place. Because of your lack of unity, your lack of overt displays of power and consequences to continuing to degrade our situation. And it's not just us black folks nowadays. Please hear me. Because another thing that's going to go hand in hand with this, I guess, cutting of the food stamp program or hiring the standards, you better look at the hand in the picture. That hand represents the majority of people on food stamps in this country. This little meager bowl of soup and some sort of meat and cracker here ain't gonna cut it. Little water, that ain't gonna cut it. And for all you brothers and sisters out there who are melanated and are doing well economically, highly viable, I'm so glad. I'm happy for you. I truly, truly am. I know however you got it, whether it was through nepotism or even tokenism or even you actually went to college and applied yourself and just hard work, and you made it. When the hammer comes down, you too, friend, will not be immune. In the beginning, it may look like you are, but at the end of the day, you are a fundamental threat. I'm not trying to say you spend your money this way. Enjoy your life because you work hard and whatever you do with your time, however you want to fund or help other brothers and sisters, that's entirely up to you. But the stronger that we all are, the better off we all are. To continue to exploit uh, brothers and sisters who are weaker, who are less intelligent, who are morally corrupt, that's wrong. And I know a lot of people have made money doing that, a great deal of money. But what I'm talking about is a little different than just the money. I'm talking about species survival for the long haul. There are once again things outside of what's typically known to the uninitiated that is out to basically destroy us. And it almost seems as if it is going to work. It's as if I'm quite literally seeing the extinction of a beautiful species. You can call it climate change, you can call it global warming, you can call it medical tyranny, you can call it economic slavery. I call it what it is: death. And it's orchestrated by other human beings, or so at least they appear to be. I really want every young brother and every young sister to look within their family, their bloodline, their adopted line, whatever, whoever you consider is your family and your loved ones. Try to make amends for any problems you might have. Try to reach out. because the time is growing short to where all these slogans like unity, we need to stick together, is going to become quite obvious. So let's just continue on because people have fates. Keep this in mind. I want to implant this within you subconsciously. When you go to the camps, the detention centers, or refugee um, confinement or whatnot, just remember inside the camps, they have spies that look just like you and me. They will be embedded, they'll be listening. They have devices, surveillance of, for goodness sakes, they've been known to put microphones in cots, little cots that you like set up in a gym for people to sleep on. Yeah, sometimes in those legs, there's microphones. This thing is quite real. And when I say that I wish I can sincerely talk to the people who are really, let's just say, calling the shots on who gets the hot vaccines, on who gets the dirty water, on who gets to live on known contaminated polluted land, or whose property going to be adjacent to, say, I don't know, municipality's water treatment center where you're having crappy water being treated and you have to smell that. I want to talk to those people and just, I would really like to ask them this: why wage this war on us? Is it to somehow you have some sort of a sick vision that you have to be hard on humanity to make us tough and strong to fight future wars against God knows who? Because as the Romans had like proxy little kingdoms that they kind of manipulated just for, to keep the bad guys and their own citizens in line. When we managed to get to outer space, and it's highly doubtful, and if we carry on like this, it's going to be the same gag. I've know we had on guests before that has suggested that we already have a space force out there. We already have bases on the moon, bases on Mars. Also, we have remote outposts apparently on some sort of asteroid floating around the asteroid belt that separates Jupiter and Mars. And then apparently, after we go past that, the whole solar system is basically encased in a um, giant dome or ball of fire. It's quite hot, which would indicate that it's radioactive or whatnot, because we know flames don't occur in space. So it's like, is it bitter cold out there in space, as they say, and is blazing hot simultaneously? I say we should quit, or not quit. If you want to, be a stargazer, absolutely do the stargazing. Do you be yourself? Enjoy your life. But I really think we need to get back to the business at hand and make sure that the original spaceship one, because you are all, I mean, quite literally, it'll use any logic or reason, seeing how we're quite literally dangling in nothingness. Nothingness is quite literally all around us. It begins where your body ends. And the thing about it, Oh, I'm just really going too far. Hold on. Let me get back to where I need to be at. I don't want to go there. I want to talk about this because this is pertinent. This is only people who really been following the show would probably even get what I just said. But I want to get back to things that for new viewers. And by the way, if you're a new viewer, new watcher, uh, please accept this as a thank you. Thank you for watching this show today. All right. Who do I get some shout outs? Isaac, brother Isaac, sister Janice, DJ. Welcome to the show. Peace and power. Thank you all for coming in. All right. Trump administration moves to end food stamps for 700,000 more folks. Hold on. I want to put this in perspective. How does food stamps affect food prices? This came out December 22nd, 2017, year of our Lord. It's a PDF file. I just downloaded it. Probably should have maybe not downloaded it right off the bat, but whatever. I like these. What is the impact on food prices? Hold on. Because the reason why I want to make sure that this statement I'm about ready to say is basically true. Because I want to make what I'm going to ultimately say. Sister Sandra, peace and power. Brother Marty. I'm going to make it personable to everybody. Except for the ultra rich who don't give a shit. Money does not matter to them. That's for us little people to be concerned with. On average, per month. Okay. Well, I'll check this out off air. But research this. And in the comments, if I'm wrong, say true. You're wrong on this. But basically, let's say you had 1,000 citizens and 200 of these citizens are on food stamps or whatever. In that little pool, that little market of consumers, these 1,000 people, ultimately, everybody has to go to the grocery store. Now, some people can get by maybe eating out of a gas station or eating maybe out of a homeless center of some sort. But at some point in time, pretty much 100% of the population, no matter what level of economic class you're in, has to visit the supermarket, the grocery store for food. The guy or corporation running the store basically wholesales and then resells. That's retail. He buys something from some outside vendor. He buys it at a bulk so he receives a discount. Then he can divide it up and send it out through the storefront per unit and make a small profit on every unit sold. There's the kicker. If units are not being sold, the whole system of retailism breaks down. Now, once that natural order of consumer distribution and endpoint sales collapse, it has a ripple effect. It starts affecting the vendors, which start affecting their vendors. Because think about it, every vendor has vendors. Every wholesaler has vendors. All the way back down to that farmer. And that's what this whole fuck the illegal aliens things really kind of did and helped exacerbate the system. So now the government has to scramble to get men and women to get out of their mode, out of their little life, out of their zone, and quite literally get their asses back out there on the plantation picking some fucking food. Because we don't have a robot yet. And when we do get a robot, you guys think it's going to be glory days? No, that robot's going to be picking humans. They want us dead. They hate us. We can easily have an economic system that rewards people for doing the right thing. But instead, we have an economic system that only aids people into oblivion. I know so many brothers and sisters out there right now who believe, and rightfully so, that money is the answer. Who knows that money gets you lobbyists? Who can point out money gets you a better degree of court defense with a proper attorney that will actually work on your behalf and not the states? And do I need to go to the medical field, y'all? Do you think that money gets you a better quality of care at a hospital? Brothers and sisters, when you look at how this economic thing is, you want to talk about change, there it is. Your dollars are your shackles. Your coins are quite literally your ball and chain. Tell me this. If there's nothing for free, then how can the Federal Reserve arbitrarily pull out money out of thin air? Money is free for the Federal Reserve. Oh, well, other than the printing of the actual note or the minting of the compound that makes up the coin. But the numbers on which the money's being printed and the numbers on which the coins are being struck is arbitrarily pulled out thin air. And that's what validates the money that they make. So when you see this whole system is somewhat based on belief, but it's easy to believe, brothers and sisters, when you're starving. It's easy to believe when you're sick. And it's quite simple to believe when you're homeless. All these states I just mentioned are state of being that is being experienced by a brother or sister right now. Now, we can talk all the political crap we want. We can talk all the religious dogma stuff we need. And we can talk and discuss everything in between. But until we get to the root of the issue, which is economic and the distribution of resources throughout the society, nothing else matters. We got to understand. Watch this. U.S. farmers find it difficult to get workers. We'll go to here. This is why the food stamps shit's changing. Listen. Now, this came back out in March 1st. Oh, come on, man. We got to go through all this again. And this is actually C-SPAN, so. Oh, my God. Okay. For one, I'm not going to have no commercials flying up because I'm not going to get no. I'm tired of YouTube putting videos up of mine and whatever. Hold on, let's go to YouTube. I'm just gonna bust this out. I guess the my handlers must be working overtime because this is taking awfully a long time. C-SPAN. Farmers can't Fine workers. Oh my God. That was 2 years ago. I need something recent. Hold on, I gotta make this bigger because I can't even see what I type. That would probably make a big difference. Try and do this. Well, I guess we'll. I don't know why I don't have no sound. I'm sorry, Bernie.
Farmers throughout the country.
Oh God, no. Close that. I don't want to have them because of copyright issues, Vice, and all these. I'm trying to find C-SPAN. There it is. I go to C-SPAN because C-SPAN's publicly like cool.
Cable or satellite provider.
And a lot of their okay, I want to. It's so hard, man. If we really lived in a truly free what the hell? Candice Owens at hearing on confronting white supremacy. Oh God, no. Hold on. See, this is why I kind of like this show. We just can go anywhere. I'm on C-SPAN still. Let's check out this video. Hold on.
And I think our efforts towards talking about this have to start from a place of mutual respect, which is what I've heard from this side of the table. Now, the reason we don't have those numbers, I want those numbers as much as you do, but to say the numbers don't show something is simply not supported by the data.
Okay, and I have 38 seconds left, Ms. Mulligan, if you want to respond within that time.
The only thing I would add is that it's in the name. Terrorism, domestic terrorism, it terrorizes us. It terrorizes us in our homes. It terrorizes us in our schools. And to the points made by the other panelists, it is disproportionate to its impact on any individual life. And it's not.
You reject the idea it's something that doesn't matter or it doesn't really matter?
Absolutely reject.
Okay. All right, so here's where we are. Every member now has had 5 minutes in. Okay, and Mr. Clay, so we have 2 members who have not. So I'm going to go to the 2 members who have not yet, and we'll give an opportunity for a closing.
That are facing Black America. And the reason that you are bringing them up in this room is because it is attempt to make the election all about race as the Democrats.
Not in my case, Ms. Owens. I'm sorry. Please do not characterize my motive.
Mr. Chairman, it's my time.
Yeah,
it's my time.
You've got your time, Mr. Meadows. I'll give you 3 more seconds.
Every 4 years, you bring up race, and you knew exactly what I meant when I said hilarious, and you just tried to do live what the media does all the time to Republicans, to our president, and to conservatives, but you tried to manipulate what I said to fit your narrative, okay? I was not referring to the subject matter that is hilarious. I said it's hilarious that we are sitting in this room today, and I've got 2 doctors and a missus, and nobody can give us real numbers that we can respond to so we can assess how big of a threat this is, because you know that it is not as big of a threat as you are trying to make it out to be so you can manipulate. And the audacity of you to bring up the Christchurch shooting manifesto and make it seem as if I laughed at people that were slaughtered by a homicidal maniac is, in my opinion, absolutely despicable. And I think that we should be above that. To try to assign reality or any meaning to a homicidal maniac writing a manifesto, which, by the way, let the record show, also stated Spyro the Dragon, the child's cartoon, as a source of inspiration. He also cited Nelson Mandela as a source of information. I don't think that Nelson Mandela has inspired mosque shootings. You can correct me if you think I'm wrong. You would rather assign meaning to a homicidal maniac than to actually address the things that I said today that are actually harming Black America. Number 1, father absence. Number 2, the education system and the illiteracy rate. Illegal immigration ranks high, abortion ranks high, white supremacy and white nationalism, if I had to make a list again of 100 things, would not be on it.
And that's why she gets paid. That retarded statement right there at the end, because the first two is directly related to the last one that she doesn't want to say exists. This is why we have such a disconnect with one another. Now, I don't begrudge her, whatever. I think what she's doing is incredibly dangerous and sad, because there's a lot of people that's going to be emboldened by her words to go out and do harm to melanated people. I'm just beating him up because I don't like him, not because he or she's black. Hold on, we got to replay that. Listen to this madness.
Father absence. Number 2, the education system and the illiteracy rate. Illegal immigration ranks high, abortion ranks high, white supremacy and white nationalism, if I had to make a list again of 100 things, would not be on it.
Sister Barbara, peace and power. Welcome to the show.
This hearing, in my opinion, is a farce. And it is ironic that you're sitting here and you're having 3 Caucasian people testify and tell you what their expertise are. Do I know what my expertise are? Black in America. I've been Black in America my whole life, all 30 years. And I can tell you that you guys have done the exact same thing every 4 years ahead of an election cycle, and it needs to stop.
I'll yield back.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's, my God. Everything that ranks high that she's talking about ranking high isn't ranking high for us. It ranks high for these ideologues of people who basically hate our guts. And she is the mouthpiece. Once again, this is for you young brothers and sisters. If you haven't blown your cover yet, what this woman here is doing, she found her niche. Whenever there's a conservative group that needs a firebrand, a black woman to come out and set the people right, they give her a couple of bucks. She comes out, and it's like almost like she's a performer. She's a rapper. She's a musician. She gets up there and sings a little song, do it a little. Now I'm just speaking metaphorically. That's obviously she doesn't sing and dance. I can already see some of the comments already. Because apparently Candice Owens' problem is she doesn't speak for the overwhelming majority of black folks in the nation. You know good and well, if there was a whole room of us, she wouldn't talk how she's talking up there on that microphone. Now, the flip is, if there was a whole room of us or anybody else, I don't care who it was, if there was enough people to come to a room to hear me talk, I would still say what I say on this show to their face in the same way I say it. Now, I don't know if I bring old Betsy with me and if, you see how the internet connection's here. I can imagine out there on the road. The reason why is because I speak from a point of view of sincerity and honesty and truth and liberation. She speaks from a point of view of, well, we just got to keep the status quo going. And the passion that you see is somewhat artificial. Tate, welcome to the show. Peace and power. It's artificial. Because I'm going to blow the whole black conservative mindset into perspective. In order to be a conservative, that means that you have to conserve what's already here. You're in a state of preservation. Well, then how many black conservatives do you hear champion affirmative action? How many black conservatives do you hear champion a lot of social programs? Nowadays, they're almost like worse than the bigots of the Jim Crow. Get your own bootstraps, and you already know you're at an economic disadvantage. You got to work hard, blah, blah. Well, guy or gal, how did you get to where you're at again? Oh, I forgot. Mr. Gillicuddy came through and gave you a couple of dollars because you can say a thing that I can't say, or I wouldn't say rather, or that I guess a white guy can't say because he'll appear racist, and everyone knows as soon as someone appears racist, game's over. You see, The war of attrition works like this. In 30, maybe 20 years from now, if Candice Owens is still in the game and she's paid in full, all those people keep on funding her because she never skips a beat, never stops her style, which most people like this don't. I mean, like probably by 2024, people like Diamond and Silk and Candace Owens will be put out to pasture because once again, the collective wealth of the Black diaspora in the United States will be damn near net zero by then. And all the little social damage and all the little ills that she caused, because whenever you make statements, hold on, I won't say it. I let her say it.
Correct me if you think I'm wrong. You would
Yeah, you're wrong a little bit, but whatever.
rather assign meaning to a homicidal maniac than to actually address the things that I said today that are actually harming Black America. Number one, father absence.
Number one, father absence. Okay. Jesus, man, she needs to listen to one of Dick Gregory's old productions, then she'll get hit pretty quick. How come no one cries about the soldier that falls and their child in battle? You don't see no one talking about, all these military kids or children that are missing their dad are so bad off. Fatherless homes are fatherless because of the social structure of society. In other words, whenever you have been disinherited and dispossessed, you have no money, your family goes to the welfare board or whatever to try to get food stamps, which are getting cut, by the way. And they say, well, in order for us to provide any assistance to you, ma'am, you got to get rid of dude because he's not basically economically valuable. Even if he tries to go out there and get a little job, all it basically achieves, it puts the situation where the young man is working, but unfortunately, he's not making enough money to really kind of make it economically. But the state's going to look at that work money. Oh, well, they're good. They got money. They're good to go. They don't need no assistance. So then what happens is typically they just basically split up or go their separate ways. So the woman can stay at home with the children and the state's the father. And then the father's just out there working to pay child support. It's essentially, and I'm just kind of moshing a bunch of different like scenarios I know in my head of different people's story into like this little metaphor. But the number one problem in the Black community is white supremacy and racism and lack of economic opportunities because of one's skin tone. That's the number one. Now let's break this shit down. She's gonna say her number two, and I'm gonna correct that shit as well.
Number two, the education system and the literacy rate.
Okay. Once again, it goes back to race. If you have a viable economic situation where your people is on and they're getting the resources they need and divvying up amongst the family correctly. If you have a family member who may be, let's just say, legitimately mentally retarded, and a lot of folks have mental deficiencies. Some are more obvious than others. When it comes to mental health concerns, the melanated community has been vastly overlooked. But see, they won't address these root issues. They're just gonna sensationalize an outcome. Look, if I take you out of your happy home and I throw you behind my house in a box, and I make you cut my grass, I make you chop my wood, I make you clean my house, I snatch up another person, I throw them in that box with you, I make you guys mate, I take your babies, I sell them to my friend down the road and all this shit. And I do this for hundreds of fucking years. You're supposed to just come out of that situation ready to compete, ready to make business moves. Get the fuck out of here. Whenever it was illegal for anyone to teach you how to read, how to understand written jargon, legal jargon, you see people that want to play the pit bull and attack the poor, attack black folks, attack poor women, attack even the gays and transgenders. These people are basically out to divide and keep everyone divided below their social status, because everyone's trying to keep their little social status. That's the reason why, you don't see, she ain't gonna wear her hair natural. She ain't gonna be, that's just gonna be some Aunt Jemima Kronk straight shit. Hell, this chick over here has more curl to her shit than her. And they both artificial. Because don't get it confused. Oh, Chickie here might not have the best of interest. Because if you really want to have a best of interest, what she needs to do is go undercover and bust out CEOs and bust out all these people that she can't get into. She can't get up into the office, but she can. Go up in there with a little recorder. Yeah, those goddamn M words. Beep. We don't like beep. And I grab them. Beep. I gotta edit that because I don't want, I really do want this to be viewable. I don't know if yesterday's show is actually viewable now. This is here, her third. And then I'm going to show you guys the number, and we'll just kind of jump to the news real quick and then wrap it up.
Illegal immigration ranks high, abortion ranks.
Okay, illegal immigration honestly does not really rank high. I'd rather illegal be out there picking whatever they need to pick than a brother or sister who can't get a fucking real job, because basically, no matter if you have the education, Candice, you still ain't going to get past HR hiring, because someone's going to look across the fucking way from you and look you up and down and think to themselves, my God, I thought that, I was going to be dealing with a European, but I'm dealing with this guy. Oh, I'm sorry, but, the job's already taken, or we'll get back to you. I want to do a poll. I might now, because it might be polarizing, but, I just asked it right here. How many of you brothers and sisters knows a black college degree holder and they find it difficult to get a job? Even in their subject matter that they studied, they're finding it difficult to get a job. I just want to make sure I'm not crazy here. Like I'm like the one out to fucking lunch. Maybe I'm the one who, has like a disconnect with reality, because I know a lot of brothers and sisters that have college degree and they are being hired and being placed into positions way below where they should be at with that degree. And then you still see Tommy and Becky getting to the head of the queue. So, I'm so glad that this video kind of popped up. I'm tired. And then hopefully, brothers and sisters, you guys are too. Of melanated people attacking us, attacking each other, just for a handful of beans. And the beans ain't even magic, y'all. These are just regular standard beans. Just put them in some water and cook. Not even magical beans. Because the damage that you're doing, Miss Owens, you're not uplifting anybody. In fact, you're setting up a lot of people for failure. Let's hear what she has to say, and then we'll move on.
Ranks high. White supremacy and white nationalism, if I had to make a list again of 100 things, would not be on it. This hearing, in my opinion, is a farce. And it is ironic that you're sitting here and you're having 3 Caucasian people testify and tell you what their expertise are. Do I know what my expertise are? Black in America. I've been Black in America my whole life, all 30 years. And I can tell you that you guys have done the exact same thing every 4 years ahead of an election cycle, and it needs to stop.
I'll yield back.
Thank you, Mr. Meadows. And now
That's just that is just sad. That is just sad. But nobody needs to be tweeting hate to a girl. I think she's already consumed enough of that. If anything, people should show her empathy. Be like, hey, man, I understand you, man. You're only 30. You want to live. You want to live comfortably. At least she found her niche, huh? All right, let's jump to the news. Oh, I never even gotten to the Trump administration announced a plan Wednesday to end food stamp benefits for about 700,000 Americans, issuing a new regulation that makes it harder for states to gain waivers from a requirement that beneficiaries work or participate in a vocational training program. Yeah, so you better get your acts together, yeah. Because the creepy thing about this, I don't think I even said nothing. Look at that hand. Look at that hand. There's nothing in it now. AR fit pretty damn good right there. And when it gets to that level, talk time's over. There ain't gonna be no more talk. And the sad thing about it, our leadership is almost just marching us to it. Okay. Yeah, I'm not talking about our leadership. I'm talking about the the real leadership. With all their divisiveness. You can't see this, but this is our president. He actually looks white on this. But you see the orange now. Put my hand up there. We will impeach. What? I guess they're going to have shooter dead after 3 wounded at Pearl Harbor Naval Shipyard. Damn. Damn. Very dangerous if Trump calls Kim Rocket Man again. Oh, and then they got. I'm just gonna glance through here. I want to look at this. This is the first time I've seen the news sheet there for today. Okay, let's see what Pelosi has to say. The godmother. Oh my gosh, why do we gotta go through all this? Hold on. What the heck? I don't know why my... Okay, I don't want to do all that.
Asking House Judiciary to proceed with articles of impeachment. Let's get to Elon Bowie. Good morning, Elon.
That's right, Carl. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi now announcing that she will ask lawmakers to draft those articles of impeachment. Speaking to reporters, she said that the president's actions amount to a violation of public trust and of the Constitution.
Sadly, but with confidence and humility, with allegiance to our founders and a heart full of love for America, today I am asking our chairman to proceed with articles of impeachment. I commend our committee chairs and our members for their somber approach to actions which I wish the president had not made necessary. In signing the Declaration of Independence, our founders invoked a firm reliance on divine providence. Democrats too are prayerful, and we will proceed in a manner worthy of our oath of office to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, from all enemies, foreign and domestic. So help us God.
So Pelosi, they're framing this.
So would that include the Clintons, and their administration that sold China all the technology, got them cracking? Would that also include like Ronald Reagan slashing public funding for education? So now basically we had great brains go overseas to get the education they needed. I'm going to show you guys something. I know I'm getting about to my hour point, and I need to gotta do a couple of things. Hold on. I don't know what got into me yesterday. I totally lost it, man. I was playing copyrighted material, and I know I let a lot of people down, especially if you guys can't see the show. We had a lot of good information in it. But here it is. Shocking poll reveals. No, it's number one. We are 3,500 strong now. I want to thank all the new subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Views are down, 30,000 views. 16,000 watch time minutes. 154 bucks. A lot of that I haven't been doing shows the last week. For those who might not have known, we had a death in the family, and it was my father, so I had a much needed time to spend with family members I had not seen for a very long time. I do want to go on the record and thank once again the President of the United States, the Governor of Missouri, and the Missouri National Guard for sending the honors and a representative from the armed forces, from the Army, to give my father the last salute as a soldier. And I say this because I want to wrap this thing up on a positive note. See, a lot of people like to talk smack about this man's army, that man's army. The bottom line is you got to find something, young man or woman. The military might not be for you, then please let it be college. And if that doesn't work for you, baby boy, baby girl, please make your own business. And if that doesn't work for you, then just get a job anywhere. Because if you don't do any of those options, you only got one left. And if you're in the city of Las Vegas, it's actually illegal. You're going to be homeless. Don't get caught up in the fanfare. Don't get caught up in the sweetness and ear stuff. I'm telling you to your little face. Find something to do constructive. College. Find a career. And not only when you go to college, you make friends, you build a network so that once you graduate, you can call up Bobby, you can call up Sally. Hey, Sally, I need a job. Well, come on in. We got you covered. We had great times in college. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just advising those who can hear me and maybe who's teetering on the fence on this. If you get caught up in the whirlwind prior to the time that you actually have to be caught up in the whirlwind, you're going to be crushed. There's no economic solution, or not economic, military solution to this. It has to be fought spiritually and economically. Once the tide of attrition is on us, and we can manage our own raft or our own situation, our own ark to weather the flood, that's going to be cool. But right now, we're quite literally, a flood's coming our way, and we're going to ask the person who hates our guts, hey, can you build us a boat? And not only build a boat, we need you to put all the provisions on the boat. Not only that, we also need you, because none of us apparently know how to captain a boat. We need you to provide a captain. And these are people supposed to hate you. And you expecting them to get you a boat, a captain, and provisions? Please get out of here. You're going to drown. You're going to drown in the flood. Unless we get our butts together and we start building a raft on the shore right now, using unity, using all the best aspects that we have to bring together. We build our own raft. So when that flood comes and that dude's up there on that boat that and they made laugh, but they forgot that flood water is going to take that old raggedy ass boat and smash it up against that volcano. And that little raft that we put together is maneuverable enough to slide on by. That's what unity can do. That's what liberation will do. Liberation ain't sitting up here, and I was wrong, man. I'll openly admit this shit now. Reparation that they talking about in the form that they talk about ain't gonna work, and they're not gonna give it to it. So I'm not gonna waste my time putting energy into that. I'm gonna put energy into what we can do. If we pull our own little change together, we can make a change. We pull our own minds and brainstorm a plan together, we can make a plan for survival. We don't need to depend on no jive ass musician. We don't need to depend on no clown ass actor. We don't need to depend on no meathead sports star. We can do more with Pookie and Ray Ray. We could do more with our own. There's so much potential that's always overlooked in us. There's so many young brothers and sisters that could write books, tell stories, inspire, but no one even gives these little brothers the time of day. These little sisters too. Either you continue down this path, brothers, sisters, and I'll end with this. Either you continue down this path, brothers and sisters, of mine, so that your little station in life will be somewhat, comfortable. And you can be the big kid on the block. Or you can actively work towards liberation. Because you might find, my friend, when it's time to board the ark that has been prepared by those who hate your guts, they don't have room for you either. This will conclude TPIM SR Live for today. I'm your host, True Power is Mine. As always, live your life with integrity without hate, envy, or greed. Brothers and sisters, I ask you, please, let's try to be kinder to each other. Peace and power, unity and victory, dignity and respect, liberation. I'm out.